Today we are looking at rubbishing the holy blackmail on your family members. Rubbishing the holy blackmail on your family member. First of all, I would like you to know that it's a gross and destructive self-deception for you to believe or assume that all the people around you, everybody around you, even the ones you call your close friends, are happy that your relationship is working, that your marriage is sweet, or that your home is peaceful. It will be wrong for me to tell you that the people around you are smiling from their hearts, that your relationship is working, that your family is in order, that your marriage is peaceful. So just know that there are people around you that are enduring the success in your relationship, that are just managing to cope with the way you're doing with your partner, that are just trying as much as they can to make you believe that they are comfortable with the peace in your home. Yes. I tell people sometimes, don't bother telling me what others said about me, because if I tell you what your closest friend told me about you, you will just collapse. So we know that there are people around us that are not happy with the things that are happening to us, especially happening to our relationships, our marriages, and our homes. So we want to look into how we can rubbish all the blackmails concerning our family members. Our family members here could be our husbands, our wives, our children, or our parents. Those people that are part of our family that are being blackmailed, we are concerned about them, and we want to see how we are going to rubbish the blackmail itself. Because there are some people that are focusing on how to bring down our family members, that are focusing on how to bring down the people around them because of so many reasons known to them. So this your family, this week with Precious Caleb for today, we are looking at how to rubbish every blackmail targeted against your family member. Now, somebody will ask me, why do people go about blackmailing others? Now, I want to tell you the reason why that person close to you, that person that you think is harmless, that person that is in your office, that is your place of work, that is in your neighborhood, that person that is even in your place of worship, that may be assumed to be born again, that are assumed to be a holy person, while the person is attacking you, attacking your marriage, attacking your relationship with blackmail. I want to give you the reasons. Number one reason is because of what you did in the past. Maybe the way you got married, maybe the way you got into that relationship, the person is not comfortable with it. The things you did in the past that the person does not like, the person is not happy with. That is why the person is looking for how to bring you down by cooking up stories, convincing stories about you to people, to your partners, to your family members, to see how to scatter the peace you're enjoying in your own relationship. I'll give you another reason, is because of what you did not do. So sometimes the reason why the blackmail is flying up and down against you or against your family is because of what you did and because of what you did not do. Sometimes people are angry that you did not do what they expected you to do. They set trap for you. They set you up and you did not fall into the trap. They got offended, so they decided to start cooking up stories about you. Most of the blackmail we are hearing are because of what somebody did not do. Sometimes because of what somebody did. The people that are trying to cook up stories against your husband, against your wife, against your parents, against your children could be because of what your family member did not do, or even for what your family member did in the past that those people are not comfortable with. And you ask me, how do they do the blackmail? Number one, the person that is blackmailing you or your family member starts the blackmail with his or her thoughts. The thoughts the person is having against you or against your family member can be the way of blackmailing the person. The person looks at your family member, is not comfortable the way the person is smiling anyhow, hugging you freely, telling plenty good things about you, and the person will start thinking of bad things to say or do. The person will start cooking up stories that will look as if they are real. The person starts it through thoughts. There are some people that are looking at you right now. There are some people that saw you in church today. There are some people that will be in a meeting with you. There are people that are sitting with you, watching me right now, that are thinking of the stories to tell about you. And they will plan the story in a way that anybody that hears the story will believe that it's true, especially because the person is close to you. There are some people who call significant others. Those that what they say about you can be taken to be the truth because of the closeness or the level of relevance they seem to be to have in your life. Okay, right. So it starts with the thought. Sometimes the blackmail is carried out with words. Yes, there are some people that can tell. There are some people that can tell stories about somebody, and you so much believe the story. That is why I told you that I don't want you to tell me what my friend, I don't want you to tell me what people told you about me. Because if you hear what close people to you told me about you, you will scream. So people go about carrying stories, convincing stories with evidence about some people. I've suffered it. I've been through it. So I can tell convincingly that there are people they just have it as the assignment from Satan to cook and tell stories that are not true, but the stories will be so convincing about somebody. Maybe because the person is not dancing in their tune, or the person is like forming, or they feel that the person is acting higher than they do, or they just sometimes out of jealousy, out of envy, out of just restlessness, people come up with stories just to bring somebody down. But when it comes to a member of your family, in your family this week with Precious Caleb, we want to look at how you can rubbish every dirty, bad, untrue, no convincing story about your family member. Okay, now I say that it can be through thoughts, can be through words, things spoken to you, things spoken about you. Things spoken to you are those things that people will come and tell you about somebody. They will tell something like that to you, and you'll be like, hey, so to tell you who that was the time I was in a meeting. So I didn't know that the meeting was like as if the meeting was packaged for me, in those years. By the time it got to a point, some questions started coming up. I said, actually, I don't have this answer. From nowhere, somebody stood up and said, what do you even think that you are? Who do you think that you are? I looked at the person and I said, what? You don't need to know what I think that I am. The only thing I know that I am is that I am a child of God. After that, I discovered that it was a planting, but God deflated the whole thing. Okay, so there are some people that they want to use words and weaken you and make you to feel that you don't measure up, or they will come with accusations and want to bring you down. These are blackmailers, and we want to rubbish every blackmail against you, against your family member. Okay, sometimes the words are not just spoken to you but spoken about you. I've heard stories about some people, and I know that those stories were not true. But I will just keep quiet, because you don't force me to believe what I know that is not true. You do your talking, I do the analysis of what you have just said. Then I will choose what to believe. If there is need, I call two of you and I tell this person, look at what this person said, look at, is it true? So that you won't go me in. Anyway, that by the way, so sometimes people go about telling stories about others, about you, about your family members. And that is an aspect of blackmail. We want to rubbish it from today. The next thing that, the next reason why the next way they do it is by their actions. Their actions about you, their actions towards you. Okay? They stay in a place when they are talking about you. Immediately they say, don't mind that. No. That is an action about you. And people will begin to feel like, but we used to assume that this person is this. Just that singular action somebody, carried out about you will bring the expectations or the the way people see you ordinarily down is an aspect of blackmail. And sometimes it will be, how the actions they carry out towards you, their actions towards you. They come and hug you. As they're hugging you, they are giving others signals that come and things like that. We proceed. I'm racing today. I want to beat time. All right. Then sometimes we ask, what are those ways these people use to carry out the blackmail? I say number one is set up. They can arrange a meeting. They can arrange one or two things that they believe that you will get involved in, not knowing that it's already a planned thing. Along the line, you make mistake and enter the trap. Not that you plan to enter the trap, you just enter the trap and they will say, they will now amplify the story about you or about your family members. Yes, there are some that like that. They set people up, okay? They set people up. Sometimes when you go for meeting, you won't know that already. Some things have been planned ahead of time before the meeting, so that when you come, one or two sentences that will be made will make you to say or do one or two things, and it will be yes, and the story will go round. Possibly you won't even know that some came to meeting with tape recording what you are saying or secretly videoing things happening. So just know that there are people around you that are bent on blackmailing you because they are not comfortable with the way your relationship is going. They are not happy that your husband talks good of you or that your wife celebrates you all the time. They are not happy the way your children take care of you and or the way your parents, talk about you or praise you. Okay? So now let me give you their pain. Their pains are your background, where you come from. Maybe you came from a humble background like I did. All of a sudden, it's like you're beginning to make sense. You're beginning to make sense. You're beginning to make sense. Your life is beginning to have shape. Some of those people will wonder, but I know her parents. I know how poor the parents are. I know how they used to. No, those are not your background. All of a sudden, when God begins to make you useful, when God begins to add value to your life, they feel offended because they from the beginning assume that if your background is low, you must remain low. But I charge you to disappoint everybody that is expecting you to remain at a very low level. Because although Jesus was born in a manger, he did not remain there. God eventually took him out of that place, and the whole world gathered and sang Hosanna to him. That means if you were born in a low place, if your background has been very low, you were born in a place where there is not in the map, there is nothing good about that place. Challenge your enemies. Challenge those that don't believe that you have a future. Those that say that nothing good can come out of Nazareth. Challenge them by bringing out fruits and results that will get them confounded. So if your background is where marriages don't last, your father separated from your mother, your sister got pregnant for 3 different men, your brother was going about stealing and causing heartbreaks to many. Now people have known your background, but now you don't want to follow that pattern. There are some that are angry, and they will keep reminding people of where you came from. Anything you do, they want to point your background to people and tell them, don't mind. That the way their family, look at the way their family members behave. This thing he's doing, she's doing, forget it. I know this person to the background, so forget it. This marriage will not work. Don't mind all this hugging. Forget it. This relationship will scatter. I'm telling you. And they will dig into the person's background and want to rubbish the person's life. But I pray for you today that God that is in the secret and in the open will stand in for you when they discuss your matter where you are not available and there is nobody to speak for you. May God raise people from among those that are discussing you to speak for you and defend you in the name of Jesus. The next is your status now, your level now, maybe your economic state, your economic status, your education, your finance, your spiritual progress so far. Those things that concern you, the things that are seen right now, they are uncomfortable. You know, they are uncomfortable. Some time ago, somebody said, this precious Caleb, she too dey do. Is it because that thing, because now God bring me to that level. Now God bring me reach that level. So you cannot talk me out of the plan of God for my life. So if my present condition, if where God has brought me is paining you, oh, just get ready, because God is taking me higher. So I want to encourage somebody now that if people are talking down, cooking up stories against you because of the level God has brought you now, maybe in your academics, in your finance, in your business, in your ministry, in your calling, in things that are of relevance or importance to you, people are talking because of the level God has brought you there. I want to encourage you. You are not alone. So many people are facing the same thing, but it's not everybody that is going down by the expectations of the enemy. So you pull yourself up and keep moving. The best way to attack such is by doing more, having more results, moving and moving and moving till they look forward, they can't find it, because you have covered so much distance that they cannot get you in view anymore. So you just keep moving, you just keep pushing, you just keep giving them what to talk about, keep giving them what to keep them awake and make them restless. Let God look at you and smile and know that you're making progress, because it is God's desire that you make progress. God bless you. Then I have another one that I can tell you that is one of the things paining them. That thing is your future. There are people that look at you and say, "Hi, the way this man is liking this woman, it's likely that this their marriage will not scatter. The way this man is running around this lady, it's like he will eventually pay the bride price." Okay? The way this lady is talking about this man, it's like this relationship will work. Okay? I was thinking that they were going to court last month for divorce. For the one seeing it, it's like that divorce will not work. They just get angry when they predict that your future will make sense. They just get angry and they start cooking up stories about you. But I want to encourage you that God is interested in your future. That is why He is filling you with so much strength, energy, grace, and endowment. And God does not throw away His investment. If God has invested in you, just be sure that God will protect you. God will preserve His investment, because God is futuristic. If you heard what I said, just say amen. All right, I give you another one. Their target. Let me tell you the target of those that are blackmailing you. Their target is to scatter your relationship. Forget it. The stories that are telling your husband, the stories that are forwarding to your wife, the evidence that are given to your boss at work, whatever it is that they are gathering, even the ones that are telling your enemies and your friends, the information that are given out there, the major target is because they want your relationship to scatter. It will be wrong for you to think that people around you that are hugging you, that are greeting you, that are leading prayers with you, that are in the same prayer group, are really happy with your future, with your life, with your relationship. Oh, no. Just have it at the back of your mind, okay? So, they target your relationship to scatter. Their target also is that your marriage will end or will be full of troubles. Their target also is that your home will be full of katakata, troubles, running up and down, fight and quarrel. That, by the way, just know it, okay? Yes. So what they do is that they try all they can to make sure that they sell you to the public in bad coin. They tell people bad things about you. You know, when they tell your husband or your wife something about you, something bad about you, and your husband ignores the story, your wife ignores the story, your parents ignore the ranting, the children ignore all they're saying. They now say, it's like it's not working internally. Let me go and, let me see how I can reach out to them, to people out there, so that, as people talk bad about them, eventually it will get it will get to them. So when they talk bad about you, when they try to blackmail you,